What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today we're here with a new buy list for the Digimon trading card game. This is of course the new Digimon TCG, the one that launched this year. Now, we did one of these a little while ago, and the deal here is extremely simple. The game moves on, more stuff gets released, so consider this the updated buyer's guide, and yes, we probably will be updating this every few months for as long as the game survives, hopefully forever, because people need to know this stuff. So starting off then, you've got the free starter decks. We've had one for blue, one for yellow, and one for red. And these are exceptionally good value, coming in at about $5 basically. They're about $5 decks. Now, they're not quite so easy to get hold of now as they were initially, but they give you a full 60 card deck, plus they give you 4 Digitama. You could add one more Digitama to the deck if you wished, though it would have to be different to the 4 that are in there, because 4 of each particular card. And that was a good starting off point. And to be fair, there are a lot of cards in here that still see play in a whole bunch of decks, so as a starting point to get you rolling, there really is nothing better. Now, in terms of full sets, we've had 2 released so far, the first one of which was New Evolution. Now, the thing that New Evolution did that was a little bit interesting was that it brought in green Digimon. Yeah, that's right. Green Digimon made their debut in New Evolution, and that was the big change that we saw, the big new mechanic. We went from 3 types, or 3 colours, up to 4. And yes, that does mean that green is a little bit hard done by. It doesn't have quite the range of cards that the others do, given that they had starter decks, although there are new starter decks coming. We'll get to them in a moment. And we've actually had the second set released as well. The second set is Ultimate Power. And what Ultimate Power did is it brought in both black and purple Digimon. I was on the record more than once as saying that there's no way that they're going to bring in black and purple Digimon. There's no way they're going to bring in 2 new colours in one set. I said it was ludicrous. I was wrong. They did bring the pair of them in, ladies and gentlemen, and that, as they might say, was that. Which of these 2 sets do you buy if you want to go and buy a booster box? Well, the fact of the matter is, it depends. Now, clearly, Ultimate Power has the widest range, in that you can get black and purple cards. Basically, there are 6 colours when you're in Ultimate Power. The second set, there's only 4 colours in set 1, New Evolution. But then again, if you want to make yourself a red, yellow, blue or green deck, clearly the proportion of cards is higher in set 1, because set 2 had 6 types rather than 4, but also they had to make it up a little bit for black and purple. The reality is, it's hard for me to sit here and tell you which one is which. This isn't like... So in the Transformers trading card game, I could tell you that the second set, although fun and awesome and brought in combiners and we love it, it was extremely clear in Transformers that the base set was far and away a better set to buy for beginners than Rise of the Combiners, the second set. And it wasn't even close, incidentally. That was just the way it was. With Digimon, it's not like that. At the moment, I see a lot of people saying that Ultimate Power is more powerful. I mean, it should be, clues in the name. But then again, it's not necessarily fair to compare them, because firstly, Ultimate Power's only been out for a few weeks. It is really not that old a set, so it will take time. And secondly, there's nothing really that points it out. To go back to Transformers, Rise of the Combiners really did add on to the base set and felt like an expansion. And it brought in combiners which were made of multiple cards which are hard to pull from one box, making the boxes in and of themselves a bit less exciting. They were cool, but again, you would pull lots of parts of a combiner you couldn't use. Whereas here, it was super easy to get a decent deck made from either of the first 2 sets. So, I don't know, let's say set 1 has maybe got a few more staples and set 2 has maybe got slightly more powerful cards, but it's really, really hard to actually differentiate between them. And there is actually a third set that is coming and has been confirmed as coming. It is Union Impact. And it has been confirmed, it has been officially revealed, we have seen the booster pack artwork, and this is coming along on the 30th of October. I have done a video telling you everything we know about that already. I'll pop a link to that one in the description. We don't know much about this, I can't really comment about this, we haven't seen any cards. We do not believe any new types are being introduced, so there are a couple new mechanics coming along. But it seems at the moment like it's probably best to leave it. As in, you'll know whether set 3 is worth buying when set 3 comes out. Given that as I record this, we're pretty much exactly 2 months away from release, I wanted to raise this as a pop it on your calendar, you know it's coming out kind of thing. But it's not something you need to worry about too much yet. But do be aware of it. Now, the other thing which we have... Now, these haven't been officially revealed, but we know there are 3 more starter decks coming, and these are up for pre-order at Chosugoi as I talk. And they're going to be called Giga Green, Mugen Black, and Venom Violet. And, of course, clearly those are starter decks for the other 3 colours. Oh, well, would you look at that, ladies and gentlemen? Doesn't that make a lot of sense? These are being listed as being released on the 27th of November. So you're talking roughly a month after set 3. But again, these have not been officially revealed. They've kind of been leaked, as it were. So please don't take that as an absolute certain date. That is a date that's been leaked, but we're not 100% sure that is the date. And that does bring me to another little point here. Where do you buy your cards from? Well, Chosugoi have been brilliant at helping us out with translations and answering questions, etc. on this channel. I've not bought stuff from them, so I cannot comment on that. But I can tell you that as people and as helpful, yeah, they're awesome, and I got nothing but time and love for them. Amazon Japan, amazon.co.jp, does tend to ship outside of Japan for a lot of goods. There are a bunch of places. My suggestion would be, because obviously depending on when you're watching this, different sites will have different things in stock. I would head on over to the Facebook group and join that if you haven't already, and ask in there and someone will direct you to the best place, and I'm sure they'll be able to tell you the kind of stuff that is in stock. And they're your general products. As it stands at the moment, we've got 3 starter decks and we've got 2 sets. In 2 or 3 months' time, we're going to have another set and another lot of starter decks, such that each of the 6 colours will have had their own starter deck. And that is the vast majority of what is available. But there are a bunch of promos and other cards, and they are actually good and they are playable, so we do need to mention these. So I'll run through them quickly. I'll tell you where they came from, but a lot of these promos and packs you may well end up having to buy from third-party retailers if you can't find them raw, so to speak. So if you bought a box of either New Evolution or Ultimate Power, you did get a booster pack with a single card in that gave you an alternate art tamer. Now, these are alternate art. You do not need them. They do not give you any extra stuff. They are not particularly more playable than any others. They are literally just alternate art. We got New Evolution on the left there and Ultimate Power on the right. So you buy a box, you get one of them randomly. Those are things you've got to bling out your deck. They're not going to be there. You don't need them, let's say. Now, the first promos were in an initial promo pack, which gave you 6 little Digimon, mostly level 3s. And this is fine. A few of these see a little bit of play here and there. These are not the most playable of the promos. In terms of playability alone, you probably could skip it. These were sold in a bunch of different places and they were given out at preview events, etc. The most concrete way of getting them was to buy a copy of Card Gamer Volume 51. We're going to be talking more about these magazines on the channel in the future, but essentially it is just a TCG magazine that they sell in Japan that comes with a bunch of promo cards every month, and Volume 51 did come with this promo pack. And this is still available to buy in a few places online, so you should be able to pick it up if you want. As a bit of a guide, so to speak, generally these Japanese magazines will cost about £20, including postage to send from there to here. Now, we did also get a couple of actual magazine promos. So, one issue of V-Jump magazine, and the cover is on the screen here so you can see exactly which one it is, did actually come with exclusive promos for both Garurumon and WereGarurumon. And these are exclusive promos that could only be gotten in that magazine, unless you buy them from a third-party reseller. These are alright promos I've seen a little bit of play with, but again, they've not been taking over all of these tournaments we've been having, so good cards, but you probably could skip them if you had to. There was then a Psycho Jump magazine, again, cover is on the screen so you can see which one it is, that came with exclusive promos for Agumon and Greymon. Now, these are actually very, very cool cards because they interact specifically with that evolution line. If you're playing an Agumon/Greymon deck, there is a strong argument that you should be picking these up. But again, they are just there, they're cool, but you could live without them if you had to. The promos you really do need to pick up are the second lot of V-Jump promos. You see, there were a pair of V-Jump promos and you got yourself a Tamer, which was the blue Taichi, and you got yourself, as it stands at the moment, the only V-Dramon Zero we've actually had released so far. And these are extremely good promos. These have seen a whole bunch of play in a whole bunch of decks. These are extremely good cards. So there is a strong argument here that you might need to go and pick these up. But then again, you'd need to get 4 of them. I don't know, ladies and gentlemen. These are very good cards. You have been warned. They are really playable and they have popped up in a bunch of winning decks. And then more recently, we got a promo pack which gives 4 black and 4 purple promos. Obviously, up to this stage, we hadn't really had chance to get any of them. Now, they were given away at tournaments over in Japan, etc. The easiest place to get them is actually in volume 53 of Card Gamer magazine. And if you're seeing a bit of a theme here, yes, there is a bit of a theme here. Start buying Japanese magazines. And this does give you the promo pack as well as some promos for other games that we probably don't understand. And these are actually pretty cool. I showed you a black deck just yesterday that did win a tournament and did play 3 of the 4 black cards. I've not seen the purple cards see as much play and success yet, but do remember, we're not exactly at a stage of the world at the moment where there's lots of tournaments happening and lots of results coming in. There are a few out there, but they tend to be rather small. And then the most recent thing that was released was an alternate art promo pack, which is being given away at tournaments over in Japan. Again, these cards are very, very cool, but the interesting and important thing to note here is that these are just alternate art promos, so they're cool and they're fancy and they're lovely, but as with all of this, you could just avoid them. Some of them you probably don't want to be avoiding, but these ones you absolutely could avoid if you needed to, and you wouldn't really be any the poorer for it. You'd miss the lovely alternate art cards, but that's all that you would miss. Oh, and then we've got that full art War Greymon, which is, well, I've called it the most valuable card. Other people have taken umbrage with it. The reality of the situation is, we don't actually know... Metal Greymon, sorry. We don't actually know exactly how rare or valuable this is, so... yeah. We've not actually been given all the information on that one. We don't know how many tournaments there are. Some are saying it's been given out to the winner. I've heard it's actually not been given out to the winner. It's being given out randomly in some places. All I know is they're not that easy to get hold of. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. There's your buyer's guide. Think of it as a nice little video catalogue. Everything that's available and where it came from. As for shops, I'm not going to start naming too many shops because I'll miss some and it'll seem like I'm favouring some. But the Facebook group, go and ask in there, is probably your best bet. Because even if I give you the information now, if you watch this in a couple of weeks, it might already be out of date. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. That's what you need to know, but I'd like to know which of these look good, which of these you've picked up, which of these you're planning on, which of these you're ignoring, etc, etc. So go nuts, be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at the Wossy. That's where we talk Digimon and a bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all kinds of fun things. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.